Good morning, City of Riverdale. I appreciate you all in advance for taking the time to watch this video. I'm going to try to make it concise as possible. Today is July 24th. It's 8 a.m. I'm just dropping this message in here just so we have the opportunity to explore the concept without having to have a formal meeting because time is of the essence. So growing a sustainable Riverdale is a proposal that we're making as collectively sustainable to really empower our community to take more of a responsibility in our food system and really encouraging them to do so by way of these 10 by 10 installations. So this is going to be a partnership between the City of Riverdale Cultural Affairs Department specifically and Collectively Sustainable as we transform our community spaces into centers of education, stewardship, and opportunity. The opportunity, Keep Riverdale Beautiful Community Garden already provides a valuable public space. Our proposal transforms it into a community stewardship learning hub where residents learn practical skills, strengthen relationships, and build more resilient communities. Why this matters is plain and simple. Inflation is here. I've been in a lot of offices, a lot of rooms, a lot of board meetings where questions are arising more frequently about the food and what we're going to do to make sure that our communities are, able to weather the storm. How bad it may get, we don't know. But there are people who have questions, and we've been providing solutions as far as just hyperlocal food systems. And again, I think it's a lot of compounding elements that can kind of degrade people's morale right now outside of just the rise in food costs. You have social isolation, you have underutilized public spaces, we have limited practical life skill sets. We need youth leadership, and then we need environmental changes because we have such challenges that we face with forever chemicals and all the things that we know of. Our response again is not to simply propose a garden, is to be more of a robust educational framework so that we can really instill stewardship into the lives of everyday households. And what we're proposing again is that the KRB garden be transformed into a stewardship center, which is basically what it already is. But within collectively sustainable, stewardship centers are basically green spaces that are used for hands-on education, demos, community events, socials. This is where you can have volunteers. This is where the youth come. And we do a lot of things here at our farm. We have several stewardship centers within Riverdale. We have 10 in total in the city of Atlanta. And this is a concept that is really expanding rapidly. And we really forecast that this is going to be a way for us, again, to showcase how, governance and the people are working in collaboration to solve this problem. So just to throw it in there, our 3-month fall workshop series, which will be a continuum from our spring, summer workshop series. September, we're going to go over basic concepts of soil health, seed starting, transplanting, composting, natural fertilizer. This is the main rubric of just understanding that we feel people have to know. In October, we're going to go into more of the homemade soda, wine, apple cider vinegar, all the products people probably use on a monthly basis or can use on a monthly basis. We want to go ahead and start them into more of those engaging opportunities to learn. And then lastly, in November, our 3rd month, we're going to focus on homemade hygiene items as we prepare for a People's Market. And this will be our 5th annual People's Market with Collectively Sustainable. What we're aiming to do is to collaborate with the city of Riverdale, maybe host it on the football field or baseball field, or even a town center if we choose as a collective. But the whole thing is we want to show people that once you learn how to grow, bake, or make these products, you have somewhere to go, and like we can control that arena ourselves as citizens, again, in collaboration with our local governance. And we're using the 3 pillars of sustainable communities. We're using the acronym C, social, economic, and environment. Again, social, this is a big deal because a lot of people are just alone. We want to build a sense of belonging. We want to create a space for volunteerism, leadership, intergenerational learning, and neighborhood connections. So aside from just growing food, it's going to grow people, right? We're going to grow the trust back into the community again. Economic, again, we're right here with inflation, and the wage gaps widening. We need to do something economically empowering, and that's where Farm Fresh 24/7 is going to come in. That's our app that we developed. I'm going to talk about that in the next slide, but we are going to encourage again the people who are learning to grow, bake, and make to introduce their products and services to their community, to that hyperlocal arena, to cause that economic shift, or to basically make you more resilient to where you're not having so many expenditures because you have so many people around you that know how to do things. You can actually barter and swap them out. And then environmental, obviously, a lot of things are going on with our environment, with weather patterns, forever chemicals, toxins leaching into the waterways, and we need to build resilience by understanding that the environment is living and we have to steward it properly. So, again, the last thing that most people are going to really benefit from is learning how to be better stewards of the environment. So how we're proposing this partnership is through our Roots initiative, which stands for Resilient Organic Opportunities for Thriving Systems. This is where we're going to people's front yards, side yards, backyards. After contacting 811 and getting a clear permit to dig, we're installing supplemental food production plots. These supplemental food production plots are the size of a 10 by 10, and they will yield 240 to 350 pounds of food per year, even per season, if you're somebody who's more diligent. But what we're doing is actually making this an approachable price, whether we're getting subsidies for it or the people have the finances to pay for it themselves. $150 gets the labor and the installation done, as well as your compost. We're giving people the opportunity to grab their own seedlings or seeds as they see fit. But if they don't know what to get, we provide a rubric for them. So again, there's no experience needed because you can just follow the rubric. And then what we even have done is reached out and made a collaboration that we've had over 3 years now with the city, or excuse me, Clayton County Public Schools, and Riverdale High School specifically has been coming to our farm to involve themselves in programming. What we're aiming to do is have the Roots of Generosity program with them, and they would be also kind of educated on how to do the 10 by 10s, how to maintain them, how to make the fertilizer, all the classes that we're doing with the KRB garden, they'll be in on as well, so they can learn how to do the same things. But I'm thinking of this as more of a green entrepreneurship concept for the youth, because then they would be kind of tasked to knock on doors, canvass their own communities, see who wants to get an install, get paid and compensated for their duties, and then go forward to even position themselves to contract with some of the local people in their area as the maintenance personnel. So if we have elders who can't get outside like they used to, this is where that intergenerational gap gets closed, because now we have the youth stepping up and saying, hey, for $25 a month, I'll maintain your 10 by 10. I'll collect all the harvest and put it on your front door. Again, they come through the training with us and Collectively Sustainable, so they can be well-rounded and knowledgeable on how to do that. So that again is an impact for our youth. Farm Fresh 24/7 in the Community Power Index is one of our main features of how we measure community impact. So again, like I said before, when we start to educate all these people on how to grow, bake, and make products, they can go to Farm Fresh 24/7. It's an app that's free to download, free to post on, and they can start to sell, barter, give away their products if they choose. They can start to promote local events. They can start to support their neighbors with intentional spending. And then again, we're using a community power index within Farm Fresh 24/7. This is where we house that data so that we can actually show numbers and quantified data as far as how our impact is being measured with local food production, community participation, and environmental impact. So if there's grants and things like that we want to go for as a partner, Collectively Sustainable in the city of Riverdale, we'd have the data already in place that measures and tracks these data points. Now, how the city of Riverdale can partner, which is very simple, is basically what you all have been doing. What we're going to ask is for more of our banners or flyers or road signage to be available. Basically, we're using every door direct mail right now. The same flyer that's on the screen is what we're using to send to residents in the city of Riverdale and the unincorporated and incorporated. So we don't want to leave anybody out because, again, numbers matter. And what Collectively Sustainable is doing is basically creating and facilitating the curriculum, the workshops, the youth partnerships, the installations, and the again, the impact measurement. That's our tool. Farm Fresh 24/7 is Collectively Sustainable's tool. We own it. So we have all those things. All we need is the extra backing from the city to kind of say, hey, we're in collaboration with Collectively Sustainable and we're doing this together. And again, our vision for the city of Riverdale is to really have this as a statewide model with Collectively Sustainable, and showing that we can start to impact our hyperlocal food system by way of getting our communities involved. I believe this could be a great way to get eyes on Riverdale as far as being a green city and coming up with a new initiative. This would be a very specific point in time that's referenced as the city's leadership, along with the civilian leadership that stood up and joined forces to create the solution for the problem that we face right now. So learning together, growing together, supporting local, and building resilience is what we're aiming to do. Thank you for listening to this video, and I'm hoping to talk to you soon.